Grace Cummings. It's Dave here from Amplify. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for speaking with me.
Well, I've been trying to work out all afternoon. Well, before this, I've been trying to work out. I'm going to construct some questions, and then I got caught up doing one thing, and I get so much stuff coming in all the time. I get caught up, and before you know it, it's 5 to 5. And what I'm doing is I'm looking at 5 o'clock interview, and I'm looking at the press that comes out and trying to glean something from those little one-liners and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. So I think it's probably best. I've got a template questionnaire here, so I think it's probably best that we just have a conversation. We get through it anyway, eh?
All right, let's see how we go.
How are you? Where are you?
I'm at home. I'm very good. I had a
Where,
great day. I've just had a swim and it was beautiful. Lay
where's
in the
home?
sun for a bit. I live in Thornbury in Melbourne.
So in Melbourne, Thornbury. So
Yeah.
in a city, basically, 5 minutes, 10 minutes from the city by tram, maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Maybe a bit
like
more.
maybe a bit
15.
more. Yeah, it's a bit more leafy
Maybe,
around
maybe
here.
20. But it's a good. I know I'm a Melbourne boy. I'm in Sydney at the moment. As you can see here in the background, we've got Mardi Gras coming up, and I'm in Surrey Hills or Darling Hills,
Ah,
Mardi Gras Central, and they've got a flag up already. So
oh, great. That'll be so much fun.
it's all happening. Okay, so just before we start asking questions, how much of your day is music? How much of your day, like people, I'm sure people often wonder, here's a person, they gig, they go, they do festivals and all that sort of stuff. Are they doing music when they wake up to when they go to bed, or are they doing it like, half a day a week sort of thing?
I don't know, a fair bit. Like I don't like play with the band every day or anything like that, but I certainly do. I don't know, like I sing every day.
So you'll go through, all the normal vocal tests and keep your voice active.
Oh no, I won't do that. I'll just be like, I don't know, just sing whatever I want to
Shower
sing,
singing.
play whatever I want to play. Yeah.
So
Just
so you're involved with the music and all that's a part of you, but it's not, uh, you know, you don't have to turn up at 9 and finish at 10 sort of thing.
no, I wish. That'd be pretty good.
Never happen. I often think about that. I'm working on midnight 7 days a week, so
Yeah.
I wish anyone could. I wish we could all work it out. Okay,
That's
have you always wanted to be a musician?
Have I?
Yeah. How, I'm 64. You look like
Yeah.
you're 8.5. So, yeah.
Yes.
You,
That's
can I ask how old you are? I'm sure your fans will probably know or whatever, or no.
I'm 30 years old.
30
Like,
years old. You only look 20.
that's
Seriously, you don't
that's
look old.
excellent.
It is. Let's hope that at 60 you look 40. That'll be great. So,
Right.
so you've been around. How long you been doing music for?
I've been doing music for a long time. I think I've only
Professionally.
I mean, well, I don't know. I used to like the first gig that I ever got was I played in a band when I was a teenager and I was about 15. We played Cherry Bar every Friday night.
Wow.
It's
Cherry
fun.
Pie, fantastic.
Yeah, it was just
And
when it
Lane.
opened and we somehow got to play there all the time and I just thought
Oh,
that it was the best thing in the world.
well, it's synonymous, and then you're out in the lane having a toke or a smoke or something or other, and it's a special lane.
Yeah, it's great. Well, yeah, back when it was there, I think it's moved, but I haven't been playing my own stuff for, very long at all, maybe like 5 years or
Okay.
something like that. I think I've always played in bands and other people's bands and sung with people here and there, lots of backup singing and all that kind of stuff, but only kind of started playing things that I had written, that I kind of really cared about that I'd written, maybe in the last 5 years.
So that's when you got the songwriting bug, was it 5 years ago?
Well, it was when I decided to show other people that I did. I always did it on my own, but
All
didn't
the way through.
yeah, of course. But didn't show anyone, I
So
suppose.
by the time you get to 5 years ago or whatever, you've got a pretty good stock of music then. It's not like
Yeah, I guess so.
pretty good.
But I think you've got to write like 100 shit songs to get to a good one at that point, like I think that I was doing I don't know, a lot of shit stuff. And then once you play stuff to people or realize how that goes down, they get better and better, I think.
I think to some degree, you know, when you're creating stuff, you're sort of influenced by outside until you get confident to just be influenced by inside. So the outside stuff is probably where you're talking about shit stuff until you get the stuff that you create and it comes from some purpose or whatever. And then as you're connected to it more, and so it comes out and it probably feels more legitimate. So that's probably a good description. How would you describe your sound?
I don't know. However I feel. Kind of. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people say that it's a lot of different things, and I struggle to say what it is because it kind of
between what and what? What what genres does it cover? So for anyone listening in, sort of saying, "Oh, I wonder what she's."
I don't know. Well, like obviously there's
ballads,
folk influence in there, and there's some a lot of soul influence. What's that?
Country.
Yeah, totally. Heaps of country.
Yeah.
I think it's like all those kinds of just influences, I suppose, and they come out a little bit. I think that,
Have you done Tamworth?
No.
But would you be accepted in Tamworth, or would they see you
probably
as
not?
Probably
not. No,
not quite that much country, but you do country.
No, I have a lot of country influence. I don't think I sound country.
Okay. And why do you think fans have resonated with your music? Why do you think you go to shows and people,
I don't know. I kind of am myself, I guess. I don't try to be. I don't try to like sound like anyone else, or I don't think I try and sound like anybody else. So maybe people like it because it sounds, just like me.
Do you do anything sort of unique? Like if you look at Arch Enemy, she knows how to stand. So anyone shooting her show, she knows exactly what she's doing in terms of, and the gallery is just magnificent. It doesn't really matter who's shooting it because she knows she's like got that traditional sort of, experienced sort of, that sort of situation. So it comes across pretty cool. Is that something you do, or are you more?
If I'm confident, then I'm confident, and if I'm not, then I always pretend that I am.
Okay,
so maybe it's the same thing.
You know what I mean, though. If you do a Steel Panther or something like that, or an Airborne, you know that if anyone shoots their shows, they know they're going to jump, they're going to spit water in the air, they're going to look at
right.
Cooper. All these experienced people, it's like they know how to put on a performance. So it doesn't matter whether someone's shooting with their iPhone, people are going to say, wow, that looks like fun. I'm going to go to that sort of thing. Whereas maybe an Ezra or something like that, they're just playing a guitar or whatever. It's a bit hard to sort of, what do you do when you perform? Would you be considered having said that, I suppose you've seen sorry, I'm talking too much, but having said that, I suppose you've seen Yellow Brick Road by what's her name? At the piano.
I don't know.
The girl that does Brave.
I don't know.
I'm going to have to find it just because the reference is going to be stupid, but I'll find it in 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry about this.
That's okay.
Sarah Bareilles. Have you seen?
I haven't seen her.
So she'll do Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and Elton John said it's better than his version.
That's
where she plays a piano in the dark sort of auditorium, and everyone's just glued. So there's nothing about standing or playing or whatever. It's just her voice, and the way she plays and all that sort of stuff. It just captures her. It's just mesmerising.
Yeah, right.
Is that more along your line? You're there. Your music does the work, or you do the work?
I don't know. I probably do a little bit of both. I don't know. It's kind of I've never watched myself play live, so I wouldn't be, maybe the best person to ask. People like to tell me that I'm quite dramatic.
Yeah. Okay. Express it. What artist, music, and or performance, past or present, inspires you today?
Oh, lots of people. I think I'm inspired by just generally the way people carry themselves on stage. Um, you know, I think if I could think of um one of the best live performances I saw was the Gizzard from Wu-Tang.
Okay,
Just
yeah.
or watching, like, I don't think you necessarily, like, you don't have to play the same music or anything like that, but just watching anybody perform that performs in that kind of way is inspiring to me.
Yep. What's the latest music?
What's the latest?
What did you bring out last?
Oh, the last I released an album last year called Storm Queen.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that I released actually was I did a cover of a Camille Yarbrough and then Fatboy Slim song called Praise You.
Okay. This year or last year?
That was in like the end of last year, I think.
The album came out when?
This time last year, I think.
And that was the third album.
That's the second album.
Second album.
Yeah.
Said somewhere I thought that it said 3 albums.
Oh, I'm working on the third one.
Okay, so the third one's coming. When's the third one coming?
Not sure yet.
Not sure. So at that time. So we'll line up for not sure. That's all right. And have you got some singles coming out?
Again, I'm kind of not sure. There's a lot that goes into making this stuff and then handing it over to the people that put it out on time and all that kind of stuff. So at the moment, I can't really say when that'll be, but soon.
Working with the same producer as any of the first two, or different producer?
I think I've got to keep
asking questions.
I think I've got to keep that to myself for the time being.
Stop asking questions. Stop asking these difficult questions. Cool. All right. So I presume we're here to talk a little bit about Womadelaide, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What's happening? What's happening at Womadelaide?
We're going up to play. Womadelaide will be playing 2 shows. We're playing a show on the Friday night and then on the Monday night. So I've never played Womadelaide before. A lot of people have told me it's a really great festival and it's a great lineup that they've got there. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it.
When you say we, who's we?
Me and the band.
And who's the band?
And my band.
Who are the band? What can we expect?
I've got, it's kind of just, I've got Lane Pocock, Cale Kelly, and Andrew Braidner coming with me to play in a full band that's a little different to the record. It's a little bit more rock and roll or whatever you want to call it. Those are the guys.
Cool. And what's after? Have you got anything planned for after Womadelaide?
I'm going to go to New Zealand for a bit. I've never been there, and going to play a few shows
with
there.
The band?
No, I'm going by myself, actually. I'm going to do solo shows, which I haven't done for a while and really enjoyed doing. So that'll be really good.
And did I read somewhere that this is going back to the third album, heaven forbid, but did I read somewhere that you were going to record it in the US?
Yeah, maybe.
So I did see that somewhere in my flashing through. Now you've got me excited. I'm going to be hanging out. I get 40 million emails a day, but I'm going to be looking out for the Grace Cummings ones to find out whether this new single coming out, etc. You've created expectation amongst us all.
Great.
Okay, so you've got New Zealand coming up, and then obviously you're going to bring out some new music, and then obviously you're going to tour the new music and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
did COVID muck you up much? Mucked everyone up, but did it muck you up much, or did you sort of write and?
It was pretty shit. I mean, I think it was shit for everyone. I found it difficult to write a lot of the time because nothing was happening and nothing was floating around in my brain at all. I was just bored, sitting at home.
In Melbourne?
Yeah. So we were
lockdown pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been pretty shit, that's for sure. Okay, talking about performance, if you could perform with any music artist, that's a pretty traditional sort of question. If you could perform with any music artist, dead or alive, obviously the dead ones.
Dead or alive? Fuck,
Even,
that's a bit
even,
hard.
even the dead ones when they were alive, like I'm not getting you to perform with them now that they're dead. Who would you choose and why?
I reckon I'm not going to think about it for that long. I reckon I'd pick George Harrison because I love him, and I also think that he'd be a nice guy. So I'd love performing with him, but he'd also probably be really nice to hang out with.
I would imagine he was a cool guy too, especially with the Eastern influences and all that sort of stuff. Plus, I think he bankrolled, might not know Monty Python's The Life of Brian.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he obviously was a pretty cool guy. He didn't have the personality that the others have, or the big personality the others had, but he was very influential. And he was in one of the bands, a comeback band with some other superstars, not the Wilburys or something.
Dirty Mac.
Yeah, he was in something or other. I would agree with that. I think he's fantastic. Okay, what are your long-term aspirations?
My long-term aspirations are to be able to play music, write music, tour music, without
independently or label?
No. To do music, I don't know, just for as long as I can, for the rest of my life. That's a good aspiration. Yeah, sustainably.
Yeah. Okay, that's a pretty good aspiration. How do you think you're progressing towards it? 15 years in.
Fuck. Bro, pretty good. Pretty good.
It's a crazy music scene with streaming and TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So it changes pretty quickly. So
yeah,
you got to get on the back end of it. Playing Womadelaide is always cool because those big festivals tend to, once you start playing them, people start inviting you to other ones because they can see that you can obviously, play that sort of paradigm and all that sort of gear, and the fans sort of come to expect, and then you blow up like a Spacey Jane or something like that, where you're wanted everywhere and, everyone wants to do something with you. Boom, boom. Okay. With that in mind, you've been around 15 years. Have you got any advice for newcomers? You obviously have learned something along the way.
My advice would be yourself. Don't try to be anyone else, because you'll feel better. And if you try to be someone else, then nobody will believe you.
Yeah. And how did you learn that? Any stories you want to tell that would curb?
I don't think the particular stories. It's just learning things
progressively,
slowly as they go on. Yeah.
Cool. What's the best thing about performing to a live audience? I mean, it's obvious from
performing to a live audience. That's the
public. The public could see that, a star is born and think, she walks up there cold and there's fans that are just, rocking a whole building. You think, oh, well, that's a pretty cool thing. But when you're actually doing it and performing it regularly to, 100 fans or 1,000 fans or 10 fans, you probably still like it no matter how many fans have turned up. And I just wondered, what is it that is that sort of connection? Is it something inside, spiritual, or is it something that comes back?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's something inside. I think that, I don't know, it's just kind of like a very special and thrilling kind of thing to do. And I don't know. I think it's hard to explain. I think, I don't know, other like worries and things kind of stop when you do that.
You prefer live than studio, or you like?
I love both. I love being in the studio, and I think there's a lot of other things that you have to do when you play music or you're in a band, and being in the studio and being on stage are the two things that you want to be doing. they're the two things that feel good.
How do you get along? Do you have someone looking after your business, or are you making those decisions yourself?
Oh, there's a lot of moving parts, got.
So you've got experience sort of supporting you in the ways that you need support.
Yeah.
Good. Because it can be a cutthroat music industry is full of bloody good people, but it's also full of vipers. If you get some of those vipers, all they're trying to do is they're trying to get their return, and they're trying to sell you the fact that they'll give you that return. And on page 25, you've just signed away lifetime everything sort of thing.
Yes.
So
Story as old as time itself, I'm afraid.
old as time itself, and it's still going on. So it's a bit nasty. What's been the career highlight so far?
It was a real highlight to play. We played on top of a mountain in the Swiss Alps. That was pretty good.
God, not the Jungfrau. No, which mountain?
It was a festival called Pulp Festival.
Interlaken?
No, it was called. No, I can't remember where it was. I can't remember the name of the place.
Isn't the air thin?
I don't know.
Is it hard to breathe? Was it hard to breathe?
No, it was good.
It was good. So it might not have been right at the top.
No, it bloody well was. I'll tell you. Oh yeah.
All right.
Maybe just not one of the tallest ones.
Okay, so let me just race through this stuff here before I've got some final questions. But before I do, let's just make sure I haven't missed anything. Released a self-produced sophomore album January. So you produced second album last year, the start of last year, and it was self-produced, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I worked with two really great engineers, Paul Mabry and Jesse Williams, and we worked together to do
in Melbourne.
Do that. Yep.
Cool. Double J 21 on Double J's best albums of 2022. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of music. When you think that 60,000 songs comes out on Spotify every day, there's a lot of music that comes out. A lot of music. So to beat 21 and Double J's, that would be impressive to me. It's poetic lyrics and conjures the sound of the early 60s folk revival. So would you also be a Joni Mitchell fan?
Big one, yeah.
Big one. She's probably so conscious today. If you spoke to her, she hates fame. She's always hated fame. And she said something that I thought was really cool. She says, if you're listening to my music and you're putting my name to it, I haven't done my job, Listen to my music and you feel what you feel and you're thinking about what you're feeling. That's really what she wants to do. She was probably the best songwriter in the last 100 years. But she is a sweet person. Recorded most of the songs in the album in 3 takes or less. Imparting intimacy in each, in 3 takes or less, really.
Yeah.
That's impressive too, I would think. King Giz, you toured with?
Did.
They are mad. And you went over to SXSW. How'd you find SXSW?
It was great. I had a great time. Played a lot of shows, met a lot of people. It's such a great festival to be at.
And the Texans, they're Texans. You really understand America, some of the operas when you start meeting some of those people. Are you going to do SXSW here, this thing that they're doing here?
Oh no, I didn't even know. What are they doing in here?
They've got a thing that's going on that they're.
Oh, okay.
And Storm Queen video. I didn't have a look at that. I'm going to have a look at that as soon as we finish.
Okay.
So, pity, I probably should have had a look at it. But what's its claim to fame?
The Storm Queen video.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do all my videos with my good friend Gil Gilmore. He also does the album covers and all of my photos and things like that. He's a very good friend of mine, and we work closely together to make those videos. And I love.
Recent or long term?
Pardon?
Recent friend or long term? Someone you've had?
I live with him actually. So.
Okay, so it's still, is it recent or long term?
Oh, we've been friends for a few years, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. And you live with him
Yeah, he lives out in his studio out the back of the house
as a housemate or as a partner?
as a housemate.
I'm going too far here. I'm probably
As a housemate, yeah.
again. Just before I finish these questions, how have you dealt with obviously COVID? But the music game can be pretty challenging because financially you're bloody struggling to get through, and you're trying to do the business and all that. A lot of music is written from, a desperate perspective, sad or depressed or whatever. You're pretty cool with that whole scene? No?
Pretty cool with the whole scene of.
Well, I mean, is there anything you'd like to? No, don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It was a stupid question. I don't know. I've got a series I call Conversations with Dave, which is more of a deep dive into those sorts of areas because, once you start talking from that perspective, you learn so much in those places that helps you drive to wherever you drive to. They're not really, two sentence sort of conversations. So let's not bother with
Sure.
that.
Okay.
It's sort of disrespecting it as some sort of trivial, this happened. And so let's not worry about it. Let's get these last questions out of the way. Is that all right?
Sure.
A few questions for some quick answers. Everyone hates these. Favorite album?
I don't know if I can do that. I don't know. Abbey Road.
Yeah, I'm not going to. You're not going to get in strife or anything. They're not
I'll just go as quickly as I can. I'll say Abbey Road.
Favorite artist?
Fucking the Beatles.
Really, 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 really.
Yeah.
Really? Did you enjoy that?
Maybe.
Did you enjoy that yesterday movie, The Takeoff? The Indian that sort of.
I haven't seen it.
You've got to see it. If you like the Beatles, it's.
Yeah. Okay.
Funny show. Anyhow, so the Beatles are cool, man. I grew up with them. I was born before they started, or when they started.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty cool place to live when you lived through all that experience.
I bet.
Favorite movie? They're supposed to be, these questions are supposed to stretch you a little because they tell someone about something.
Okay. With Nail and I.
I've never heard of it before. What's it called?
With Nail and I.
And it
was actually produced. I'm not. I don't mean to bring up the Beatles all the time, but it was actually produced by George Harrison and Eric Idle.
With Nail and I, comedy.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, yes, obviously, but also
a life thing, something you're going to learn from as well. So it's got meaning to it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to look it up. Favorite place to visit?
Wilson's Prom.
Really, Wilson's Prom. You've been over the SXSW and you've been over to Europe, and Wilson's Prom still wins.
Yep.
God bless. Favorite venue to play?
On top of a mountain.
Top of a mountain in Switzerland. I tell you, up the top of the Jungfrau, they've got an ice museum and you can't breathe. So it's not the sort of, if they suggest doing a festival up there, a show up there, say no. Favorite food?
Anything my grandfather cooks.
He's still kicking, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And what's he cook? Is he a cook? Is he a chef, or you mean you go around there and he cooks good stuff?
He's a great cook. He's he cooks Italian food mainly.
So his lasagna's to die for.
Yeah.
Favorite drink?
Negroni.
Negroni. Not my cup of tea, but favorite person in history?
Favorite person in history?
Yeah, someone that sort of, for some people it's Tolly or it's Gandhi or it's mum or dad or someone that sort of had the major impact sort of thing, or someone that's Rosa Parks or or whatever.
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan. What a Superman,
Yeah, you need to tell me. Yeah.
But a super simple man as well. He wasn't, especially if you look back on when they came together to do that song, All the Stars Together. He was like just bumbling around there. He just turned up to just sort of assist. He's a cool guy. Most of these people, they're just cool people right throughout their life. Do you have tattoos? Obviously you do on your arm there. What's your favourite tattoo? Do you have many?
I don't know. I've got one there,
Yeah.
but that's all I've got. I like them all.
And are they late things, or you've had them for a long time?
I've had this one for a long time. My friend did that in his bedroom while he was practicing how to do tattoos. So I've had that the longest, maybe like, I don't know, 10,
Okay.
almost 10 years, I think. 10 years maybe.
Okay, so I've got through all the questions basically.
Right.
So is there anything else you want to say? Is there something you'd like to say about the music industry, or about, what
I don't know. I think
where you're going to go?
I think I'm pretty good.
What do you want fans to do?
Have a good time.
What would you suggest they do for you? What song should they listen to, or what album? Pick up the last album, obviously.
I don't know. Listen to the album and decide if you like it yourself, I suppose.
And if they like it and they want to tell you, what's the best way to connect with you?
I don't know.
How would you want them to connect? Instagram?
Come to a show.
Come to a show. That's a good idea. Come to a show. Good gear. Do you have T-shirts and do you have merch for sale and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Bandcamp or?
Think so.
Okay, so you got merch. So check out the merch, listen to the album, come see the show, come see Womadelaide if you're in Adelaide.
Yeah.
But if you're not in Womadelaide, you're in New Zealand, you'll be able to see her in New Zealand. But if you're not in New Zealand or Womadelaide, if you go down to Wilson's Prom sometime, you'll probably see her just walking around on the beach.
That's probably right.
and there's every chance that she'll be singing with someone that lives out the back, who's a good producer.
Sounds good.
I'm sorry, Grace. It is a bit of a mad interview.
No, don't worry. Good.
But it was great. We're going to throw it up on YouTube at some stage. We'd love you to share it.
Okay.
Hopefully in a post rather than just a story, so that we can, it's hard to get numbers these days. You push things out.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many people out there with, anatomies that they're pushing around that everyone looks at. And, when you just got music to share, you're probably aware of it. You probably get frustrated when you see some of these things that have 1 million views and they haven't done anything. They just stood there. And you think, I've been bloody working for 15 years and creating music. This is good stuff. Come and listen to this. Anyhow, enough of all that madness. Thanks very much. Thanks for the chat. It's really cool. Nice to meet you. And we like to think we're a family. So when you need to, yell out. We'll put up your publicity and do all that sort of stuff. And we'll keep following. And I'll check out that movie. And I'll watch the video, and I'll probably listen to the album too.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for having me.
Good on you, man. Take care of yourself, and all the best. Good luck with Womadelaide.
All right. See you, mate.
See you, bud. Bye.
Bye.